Sorry guys, I'm late to the party to review Sophia and Bumpy, but I listened to it. It was a lot, but I'm glad I did it, and here is my review. I'm going to set it up from the perspective of like lessons, but first things first, one of the things I've realized is that people are really struggling to be empathetic online, and this is because a lot of people do not understand the mindfuck of what it's like to be with a narcissist. But you don't need to understand that to just be empathetic. If she was the one who's going through this experience or this abuse that you are frustrated at hearing, how do you think that she felt? How do you think she felt? I really empathize. I can see all the moving parts that kind of allowed this setup to happen the way that it did. And I'm so glad she was able to leave. Let me tell you, you might be late, sweetheart, but you did it. You did it. First things first, trust but verify. My dad says this all the time. And it's basically saying whenever you're saying you trust someone, do you have the receipts why you trust them? And so in the beginning, she was saying that her and the baby mom were going back and forth with each other. And the baby mom was telling her like, okay, I'm with him, I'm doing this. And she was like, why would I trust you? I'm with him. So that's why I'm going to listen to. Just because someone is your partner doesn't mean you just trust them blindly. Like, give yourself evidence. Like, why do you trust this person apart from the fact that they're your boyfriend? There needs to be more. And if you always ask yourself, I trust this person, but how have I verified? It's harder to then just trust someone blindly. Second thing, I'm pretty sure there is a very cool psychological take on what I'm about to say, but this is how I'm saying it. Gradual bullshit. It's like a frog in hot water. If you add the heat just a bit, they don't notice that that's happening. And this is exactly how this happened. We go from we're seeing each other all the time to you can't see me on the weekend because of my daughter, to you can't speak to me, to like everything just started being dimmed down, and then the abuse is kind of the same. We didn't go from like 0 to grape. We went from 0 to like, you know, like a little something, the psychological abuse, the emotional abuse, the and then boom, we got somewhere closer. Because if I took a slap yesterday, what's a punch tomorrow? So it's for you to always be awake to, wait, this is not what was happening last year. Why is it happening now? And all of these things I'm saying, I'm not saying that's what Sophia should have done. I'm just saying like, okay, things we can pick up from this to learn from it, and not just hear this as tea. Because I understand she was really young. More. Part of what I think allowed this to happen was obviously her age. There's an age gap, and I'm not about to have this conversation with you guys about the fact that no, as long as someone is 18, then it's fine. No, a 31-year-old man who's looking for a 20-year-old girl is for a reason, and it's because your frontal lobe, honey, some of ours developed when we were 33, so it's like you're easier to manipulate, and a lot of that imbalance allows so many things to happen. I'm not saying every single dynamic like that there's abuse, but the age gap, big red flag. Another thing is I saw there wasn't that much community, even though Jules did ask her like, do you have friends, were you talking to them? She wasn't talking to them, and that lack of community of course is going to allow this to kind of continue longer. There's a saying, silence only helps the oppressor. So when you're being quiet about things, like, you know, keep your marriage private, and it's not like I don't understand, but who's benefiting? When you're being abused and you're quiet, who is benefiting? So if a dynamic is not benefiting you, you need to ask yourself why you're participating in it. And I'm not saying it's just always about you, but why can't I talk about this? Why can't I tell someone when I know I'm getting hurt? So this actually also happened with who the fuck did I get married to? And I gave the same review. That idea that you should keep things quiet only helps the oppressor. Think about that. Bumpy using patriarchal and biblical narratives to perpetuate the abuse is not new. It's kind of boring, and it's actually something that many narcissists use. And that's something that's been used on me as well. Obviously, as you can see, I'm a bit of a spirited young lady, spirited, and so that is something that people who want to make you feel small are going to use. Let me tell you, when a man is kind and sweet, you don't need to be told to be like calm and soft and considerate, because you literally just mirror what you're being given. Majority of us, I know some people are crazy out here, but now when somebody wants you to be like really underneath them, they'll tell you all of these nonsense. For example, guys, let me give you an example of my own experience. At my big age, was being told that if we go to a party I have to sit next to him. I can't go to the party to mingle. I have to sit next to him. And when I say, wait, why can't I go, I am not being submissive. And also, guys, who told you you're supposed to submit to boyfriends? Who told you you're supposed to submit to boyfriend? And I know the argument is whatever you're doing when you're in a relationship is what you're going to continue. No, you're not. You do not need to submit to a boyfriend. This is crazy. Stop. And also, submission is not something you can force. It's that they use all of that to make you feel like you have no choice. Another tactic that Bumpy was using to abuse Sophia was telling her that basically, since you're from a single parent home, you don't know how to submit. Going back to that previous point. And what I want to say to that, it is true. It's easier if you saw what your mom was doing on a daily basis, being submissive or being a great wife or whatever. It's easier because you're just replicating something you've already seen. But it's not impossible for you to have a family setup that's very different to the one you grew up in. So when somebody tells you that, be like, don't limit my God. I can create it even if I've never seen it. And that's something I could see now at a young age. She's a lot older. She really does take that as truth. Another thing that I saw that really did keep this abuse consistently happening is this idea that she was looking for a strong enough reason to leave. Do you know what my sister says? Normalize leaving after 1 month. Normalize leaving pregnant. Normalize leaving the day after your wedding. And let me tell you, we really do love relationships and companionship and all of that. But if you are always looking for some major big thing for you to leave, you don't know the kind of abuse you're already tolerating. So if you're looking for that, you're actually looking, it's like you're somehow waiting for him to upgrade the abuse enough for you to leave. Because most of the time, you are already in the thick of it. But because you've been in it for so long, you don't know that you are. Please, it's enough for you to wake up and be like, do you know what? Something feels funny and leave a relationship. It's enough. It's enough. Women, please, let's make this enough. And actually, when she said that, after I'm pretty sure he had raped her already. He had already been beating her. He had been forcing her to go through these threesomes and constantly cheating and all of the abuse. And she was like, she's looking for a solid reason. I was like, what? What else? What else? And again, all of this I'm saying, I'm not judging her. I'm just, what? The question might be, if Bumpy really didn't love Sophia, then why was he still with her? Because nobody was going to tolerate that level of bullshit. That is actually a big reason for why people are together. Why would anyone go somewhere else when you tolerate cheating? You tolerate threesomes when you don't even want to. You tolerate abuse. You tolerate raping. Like, he can do whatever it is he wants. Where else is he going to shop someone like you? Nowhere. And then because he was a lot older, of course he knows how to manipulate her and to make her feel all of the ways like she's basically indebted to her. So a man being around is not evidence of him wanting to be around because he values you so much. Sometimes it's because he's not going to get his bullshit tolerated anywhere else. I completely empathize with her as far as she's been looking for love in all the wrong places, and that's why she was seeking validation from him. And as long as he was choosing her, she was just happy to be there. But what I want to say is lovers must be leavers. I will not, do you know what? I'm going to keep saying this in 2025. Lovers must be leavers. If you know that you love hard or you love people in general, you have to draw a limit. Let me give you an example. I told you guys I was with a narcissist myself, and there was some bullshit that I went through. But do you know where the line was? Cheating. You cannot cheat on me in a relationship. That is basically failing nursery school. And I've always had that mindset. But maybe I had that mindset because my mom is a lover and a leaver too. Oh, no. You're not going to give my mom shit. You're not going to give her shit. So knowing where the line is, you have to have a line and you have to stick to it if you are a lover girl. Otherwise, these demons will finish you. They will absolutely finish you.